We have seen that on the dashboard there's a lot of information regarding our online store. However, there is also a menu in the main menu which will give you a lot more information about the stats, and it's actually called the stats, located right at the bottom of the main menu. Okay, first of all, you'll find a list here of all the different categories for which you can get the stats for. Okay, so first of all, there is the available quantities. If you click on the available quantities, a list like this will show up. Then you have the best categories. Then maybe you can go and catalog evaluation, and this will give you all sort of information which sometimes can be very useful. The newsletter information, pages not found, product details and whatnot. So it's a good thing to have a look at all of these, and actually you can see how everything is balancing up and how your online community, your online store is actually doing. And of course you can come and actually view at the visitors origin, so basically where those people are coming from, or maybe visitors online and stuff like that. So all of that information you can find here, and best customers, you can find information about those here if you have any and whatnot. Of course you can go and add the recommended modules. So this was the very first option under the stats, and it's actually called stats. Then we can actually have a look at the search engines. Now a lot of times a lot of visitors will actually come from some search engines. So here's a list of all the search engines that Prestashop is familiar with, and there's actually 38 of those, and of course the one right at the top is Google. So basically, in order to know what they are looking for, in order to know what our customers are looking for and how we can improve our shop so they can match their queries, we need to know what their queries are. And basically this page is a tabular representation of all the search engines that we have installed on our Prestashop, meaning that the Prestashop is able to recognize it and to extract the query that the customers or the visitors from that particular search engine use to find our shop. Okay, so that's the whole list there, and we can add a new search engine here by clicking on this big button, and we can add to the actual server and this get variable info. Okay, the last option here is the actual referrals. Now before it used to be called the ring, so a couple of companies, more than two, would actually form some sort of a ring and they would advertise each other. Basically this is the same. So basically you would have some other websites where you would advertise, and a referral is considered more than one click on that particular advertisement that you're placing on somebody else's webpage, and by clicking on that advertisement they will actually be directed to your online e-store, and that's actually the referral. So basically this information here will all be regarding these referrals, and if you move all the way down the bottom you'll actually find the list. At the moment, as you can see, I have no records, but however you'll find the actual ID, the name, the visitor, number of visits, pages they visited, the registration, and a lot of other information here as well, including the sales, the average cart, so how much are they spending on average, the order rate, how many times are they ordering, the click rate and percentage as well. So this is very good, and once again, just to recap, what's happening here is that you're advertising on somebody else's webpage and you are using them as your referrals. You would come in here and you would actually click on the add new referrer. A new page will open up where you will actually add all the required information here. Sometimes you will actually have to pay them for the commission plan, and in most cases this is actually what's happening, but sometimes if you have a good partnership, business partnership with that particular online website, you can actually have everything for free. Alright, and you will actually enter the required information here, and once you have done that, they will actually appear right at the bottom here and you would get their information. Now there is a couple of other options here. Basically you can select from when to when you can actually view the information. So you can select, for example, I might go from 1st of May 2015 till, I don't know, say August, 1st of August 2015. I can click on save and that will actually display all the information in that particular time frame. Okay, there's also the indexation option here and you can refresh it. There's the cache option here, you can refresh that as well, and basically whether or not you would like to select to save the direct traffic. Okay, so this little option down the bottom is very useful, especially when it comes to the stats, as this will display all the stats. Once again, you can actually select the date for each of these categories. So for example, available quantities, well, actually available quantities does not have the date, but basically if you go into most of the other ones, you can actually select the date from which the information will be displayed. So for example, best categories, I can select the start date and the end date, and then I have the best categories. So home, total quantity sold, total price, total views, and then I have other categories such as t-shirt, dresses, summer dresses, women tops, casual dresses, tops, and whatnot. Okay, so this will give you a nice way of actually seeing how your online e-commerce site is doing. And as your online e-store grows, this information will be very useful, as you know, for example, if you're selling 1,000 t-shirts and I don't know 2,000 casual dresses, you cannot keep up with all of this information and you cannot remember it by heart. You would actually come here and actually see how that is doing, and maybe for some reason the dresses, women dresses, are not doing that well, which will actually mean that you will change something and make sure that the dresses first of all get a lot of more views and see why they are not selling. Maybe the price is too high, then you will change the price and then you would see total quantity sold. So there's a lot of information, like I've said before, there's a lot of information here, and a lot of decision making can be done and influenced by all of this information here. So it's a very good thing to from time to time come here and check all of the stats. Okay, so this was the last tutorial on the available menu options here within Prestashop. By now you should have some sort of understanding how Prestashop operates and how to go about finding the particular option and how to go about adjusting it at the time when you actually need it.